Have you ever wanted something, really, really wanted something, and then you talked yourself out of it? You stopped. It was, you wanted to make a phone call, have a discussion, start a business. You wanted to raise your prices, have a conversation with someone that's important to you. You wanted to ask for the sale, ask someone out. Think about that one. Apply for a job. And then you wanted it, you knew what to do, but then you didn't do it. And suddenly it's like, what if I fail? What if they say no? What if I'm embarrassed? What if nobody likes it? If it's something you want to put out there to the world, you want to write a book, all of that. But then you talk yourself out of it. What is that? You've talked yourself out of the very thing that you really want. So here's what I've discovered, and I'm really going to use my notes through this. So excuse me as I'm looking down, because this is something I've been working through this as with the stability model and other things. But I this is what I've discovered, that, and I've said this before. You know what to do, so we know that's not the problem, right? You know that you could ask the girl out or ask the guy out. You know you could do that, and you know what to do, but you don't. So it's that moment. So that's not the problem, because you know what to do, because most people know what to do. It's that moment right before you do it. What happens? Why do some people succeed and others don't? That very moment right before you don't ask for the sale. And let me give you a really good example. I was in commercial real estate. I'm still in commercial real estate, but I was leasing office space, and I had to go door to door, knocking on people's doors and ask for the sale. That is not something that comes very natural for most of us to go ask, because of that very moment of being rejected. So we admire these salespeople who can just, even though they might irritate us when they come and knock on our door, it's like, how do they do that? How do these people that sell insurance and these salespeople sell cars, and they're very good at it and they make a lot of money doing it? How do they find that success? How do people go and knock on people's doors or knock on office doors, as I did, and get chased up and down throughout the building by the security as I'm playing the cat and mouse game? You know, it was, I made it fun because I needed to make it fun, but there's that moment knocking on the door and asking for the sale. It's like, what if they call the security guard? What if they throw me out of the building? What if they tell me, yeah, you're the fifth person who's come asking, and no, we're not interested in moving, and no, we're not going to give you our information. Basically rejection. And so the old programming, so what happens in that moment is our programming of scarcity, limitation, of doubt, self-doubt, of fear, of rejection, of embarrassment. That's what happens in that moment. That's why we don't do what we say we want to do, what we most want. And not just that, but then your nervous system joins the party and says, and it starts like, when that happens, now you've got cortisol and adrenaline and the storytelling and all of that stuff that's happening. So now you're no longer choosing, now you're reacting. And your body says, that's not safe, that's not fun, I'm going to be rejected. Somebody's going to say no. I'm not going to ask that guy out because he's going to say no. The stories are already there. The programs are ingrained of scarcity, of rejection, of lack. So that's why so many people stay stuck. This is like, here it is. They're totally capable. They're not lazy. They're, maybe their own self-talk will say that they're lazy. So, you know, it's simply because And I know this because I didn't learn, but they didn't learn what to do in that moment, which is exactly the stability moments, what I'm sharing here. So it's the stability moment is the moment when you realize, I see what happenings. I see what's happening. I pause. So you pause and you stabilize, which is everything I'm teaching. So then capacity returns, meaning now you have some more capacity to work with when and the what you're stopping all the chemicals flooding through your body, like this chemical party is not flooding the adrenaline and the cortisol and all of that. It's no longer flooding. Your stability is returning. So then you have clarity because you're not in survival, because that's exactly what happens. And so then clarity returns, choice returns. Now your empowered action returns. And instead of automatically obeying the fear, that's when you can choose something that serves you, like to keep knocking on the door and get the sale, to ask for the sale, to raise your prices, to ask for the date, to ask for an opportunity to be on someone's podcast, like to actually ask rather than obeying the fear. And it's not obeying the fear, it's obeying, it's not even obeying. It literally is a program. That's the programmed reactor that we talk about in that PDF that you can download for free. And these are states. The programmed reactor, it's just going to spiral down with the programs. That's be obeying the fear because it's just the programming. Or you can spiral up as the internal operator, and the internal operator is aware and stops. It's like, I'm aware, and they take a micro stability, like they breathe, or they stop the cortisol, the adrenaline, they stop that cascade from happening, and then they choose something. They then have capacity, clarity, which gives them clarity, which gives them choice to make an empowered decision. So because now they're not coming from fear, and they're not coming from a destabilized nervous system, and they have interrupted the programming. We interrupt this programming to bring you a new way to live, to take control of your life, literally. And that very moment that you have been stopped, I offer you something totally different, the ability to move yourself forward. So this is your self-talk phrase before I go there, because I'm going to finish this video, and just to keep it short, and then I'm going to go a little more over the program. So I'm going to give you your self-talk phrase, and you can go ahead and click off if this is enough for you, because it's important. So I can feel the fear and I can still choose. I can feel the fear and I can still choose. Meaning the fear is not running your life. The programs are not running your life. The fear comes from programs. Again, I am not talking about a tiger chasing you, eating you, a bear mauling you, none of that. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about going on a door to ask for the sale, raising your prices and being afraid that no one will buy, asking someone to go out on a date with you who you actually, like, you just are so in love or so infatuated or whatever, or just even asking, and it's like, no, he'll probably say no. No, she'll probably say no. That kind of stuff. It's that moment right there that we're talking about, that stability moment. Because this, I can feel the fear and I can still chew it, acknowledges the reality. There's fear. It doesn't fight the fear. What you resist persists. You literally give it energy, and it restores your choice. Because that whole stability spiral is, pressure is inevitable. Pressure is going to happen in life. Destabilization is automatic. Like that, those are your programs. That's destabilization. It's when there's pressure, destability is going to happen. Stability restores your choice because you stabilize your nervous system first. And then you're always rewiring your brain with the programs that you choose. And I go like this, not that I'm crazy. I might seem like I am, but I got it. When you rewire the brain with the programs you choose, you become a whole new person. I know that because it's happened for me over all these years. So the goal isn't to become fearless or to let fear, be like to stop you. Because every time you start talking yourself out of what you want, and this is really important, you create new experiences that show you, like you actually ask for the date, and the guy says, yes, I'd love to. And it's like, what? You'd love to? You're like shocked because you're or you, because you've already in your head, you've already started the storytelling it with your programming. But this creates a new experience so that the fear starts dissipating little by little. It's like starting a business and becoming an entrepreneur and putting something out there. Will they like it? Can I do that? Starting a YouTube channel, like anything. Going on camera. Like, oh my God, I could never go on camera. Oh, I'm too afraid of the camera. You're not afraid of the camera. You're afraid of the rejection that somebody might say, hey, you look stupid, or you said something stupid. I come on every day. I could face that every single day. My programs are different than a person's programs that is afraid of getting on camera, of looking stupid, because I don't have that fear. It's like, it's fine. I know I'm older. I have mature skin. I know my hair can look crazy, with my braid. I'm okay with that because the message is more important to me. So my programs support me in getting on camera and maybe looking ridiculous or any of that. So that's, but your programs may not support that. Just like my programs might, not support something else that your programs support, because we're all programmed differently. Remember, you were born with unlimited promise and potential, and then you get programmed, and you can change those programs. So that, I do not believe that I articulate this well enough. I really don't, because I think that if I did, the entire world would be like, I got to rewire my brain, and I know how. Lynnie has given me the solution. Actually, it'd be, the self-talk, and it's not my app. It belongs to Shad Helmstetter, to Dr. Shad Helmstetter. So, but why not? Why not use that? I use that tool every single day. I rewire. I know. It's like, I got the message, so I rewire. So anyway, the whole point is, once you do this, and I'm not just talking about rewiring the brain, I'm talking about the nervous system, and I'm talking about that moment, that stability moment, where right in between, that you want it so badly, but then you don't do it. But you know what to do. You just don't do it, and you're like, why didn't I? And you're filled with regret. It's like somebody at the end of their life. They're like in their 70s, 80s, 90s, and they're looking back and saying, why was I so concerned with my looks? Why was I so concerned about feeling stupid about that? Why was I so concerned? Why was I put myself so busy working that I never, that I didn't take time to be with the family? Like, why? Looking back and having those regrets. Why didn't I take that opportunity? Why didn't I travel? And having regrets. Well, I'm here to tell you that it's your programming. The programming that says you have to work a 8 to 5 job every single, for 5 days a week, and you have to stay in that job because you have to retire at 55 or 60, and this is the only way to do it. You've got to get a government job so you can have a pension, or a teaching job or something. These are programs. Now, if you really love teaching and you really love the government job and you don't really care about the benefits and you want to go into the military so that you have all the benefits of that, but you just want to go into the military because that's important to you, that's a whole different story. But if you're going because there's a program that says, this is what I should do because that's the result that I want, that's the outcome, ask yourself, is that really true? Could you be doing something else? What if you loved art, but you went and you wanted to draw and you wanted to create pictures, but your program said, I got to go into the Army because then, and it would be maybe your parents telling you or something, or just yourself, I've got to support my family, so I have to work 40 hours a week. I've got to take that corporate job. Nothing against any of that. Like, it's whatever is your choice. My point is, you want to go on a date, you want to travel, you want to not have regrets when you when you get to the latter part of your life, rewire your brain. Stabilize your nervous system so you can do the things you really want. You can take those moments, those opportunities. Now I've already gotten longer, so maybe I won't go into the model on this one. but but take those opportunities. They are there for your taking. They are there for you to make the phone call that you're dreading, or so afraid of that they'll say no. Knock on that door. I did it all the time, and I was like, my nervous system, I was a wreck. Like, I'd go do cold calls every Tuesday, and I was like, oh, I'd be a wreck. Like, going in to the day, like, oh my God, Tuesday's coming, I gotta go cold call. It wasn't always Tuesdays, but I had like Tuesdays and Thursdays, and I'd go knocking on doors. I could not stand it. But that was the way that I got market information for leasing high-rise office space, the competitors, and that's how I moved people into not just our buildings, but other buildings as well. So I would make commission on that. But I would be a wreck. I would be so, like, just my nervous system would be shot. Like, even before I even started. So then I go, and it was only my personality, and it was only the program supporting me of determination that's what supported me. It's like, if you're going to do it, do it. And so I did it. and it was nice, and it worked. I could have made a lot more money had I really enjoyed it and all of that, but it wasn't. But I made very good money, and that really wasn't my. It was really growing our commercial real estate business. So anyway, my point is that moment where you knock on the door, that moment when you want to ask for the date, you want to ask for the raise, you want to ask for a promotion, you want to ask for the date, you want to start your own business. That is, what it is, what you're doing. It's literally, and I'm going back to, you want to make the phone call, you want to have the conversation. I just put these things down as ideas because we all universally, we know that feeling. We know that moment when we want it so badly, but then we don't do it, and then we have regrets. Like, why didn't I do that? And then you see others that say entrepreneurs, and you see others that are doing it, and they're finding success. So, and it's like, why am I not doing it? And then you look back and say, man, if I would have just started a year ago, if I would have just started 2 years ago, where would I be today? So this is why fear will stop us. And this is not about the fear. This is about that moment, that stability moment between where you're choosing, where you are, what you want. It's not stopping you. Your programs, you're rewiring your programs, and you're stabilizing your nervous system. So the whole point is this new person, this new rewired person, brain, that becomes your default. The stabilized nervous system. You practice and practice seeing that, with a microstability of a breath that you take, or putting your feet on the ground, or putting your hands on the table to say, I'm safe. But getting your nervous system to a place where it says it's safe, so you don't have all these chemicals cascading. And I know I'm repeating myself, but again, it's neuroplasticity, what I teach anyway, right? The brain's ability to rewire, and the stability of the nervous system, because you can stabilize the nervous system. You can train the nervous system. You can train your brain to help you to stabilize the nervous system. So that's the story on that. I'm going to go ahead and continue. I'm at 18 minutes, but I'm going to continue because I want to talk about this model that I'm working through right now. And I'll once I have it down and know that this is what it is, I will put it together for you, and you can also download that, because it's really going to help you. And we have talked about, you don't know what to do, right? The problem is I know what to do and I'm not doing it. So we know that's the problem. You know what to do, you're not doing it. We've said that a million times. And again, I'm going to go, maybe it was starting the business, making the phone call, sending the email. I want to give you an example on this. When I first started, I had an autoresponder, an email. It sends emails out to the people on your list, and it was and it had the picture of a chimp, is male chimp, and it was like, like to push send, and it had it like this, and it had like, it was so good. I was just like, because should I send it? Should I send it? And that's the moment I'm talking about. That moment, should I send it? Because they captured in that little chimp that it was like, should I send it? And man, sometimes I'd just go like, I'd go right past that little chimp, go doink, because I knew, like the more I would do it, I'd do it. But it literally took that, and I felt that, I could see it. So that's a good example. Asking for the sale, continuing this, having that conversation that is scary. Like it could literally, someone could divorce you, or someone could get angry, or your child could say, you don't know what you're talking about, Dad, and could be even farther away. Like your relationship could get worse, an adult child. Like having a conversation that is meaningful to you. And it's before you do it. I'm not saying to do it. I'm just saying these are some moments that you can see, that stability moment, that little space right there. It's not even the gap. It's just that right at that moment that you want this so badly. It's so important. It's so meaningful to you. And then you don't do it. That's what I'm talking about right there. So having the conversation, raising your prices, applying for the job, or asking someone out. You wanted it. You wanted to do it, and you knew what to do, but you didn't do it. So the entrepreneurial world teaches, largely teaches action. Like just do it. No matter what it is, do it. And you'll hear people say, that just step into the identity. Just step into this new identity of a person who can do it. And that's it's true, but it's really lacking. It's missing the first part, like of the rewiring and making sure that you're destabilized. So I'm really getting longer, but I'm just going to finish quickly. I'll do this one maybe tomorrow, a lot more of it, but I'll just say it quickly. The self-help world largely teaches motivation. I teach something, Lynnie Motivates is internal motivator, the internal motivator, not the external motivator, not getting motivation externally, because that doesn't stick. That's not lasting. It feels good and it can inspire. And if you have the right wiring in your brain that you can do this and what can be done, you just might find immense success. But if you're going to these events to get this motivation, the podcast, the books, and you're getting all these YouTube videos and stuff that are motivating you, and then guess who you go home to? You, with your programs, the inner motivator, you. And so what is that? So that's the inner motivation of Lynnie Motivates, by the way. So what I teach is execution under pressure. That's what I teach. Execution under pressure, because pressure will destabilize. Remember, we talked about that. That will pressure. It's going to happen, and destabilization. That's instant. That's going to happen. Stability is where you gain control. So what I teach is different. It's very different. So again, let's go back to this. The problem isn't that you don't know what to do. The problem is you know what to do, but you're not doing it. So that's what I call the threshold, right? That's the threshold. That's right when you jump over the cliff. That's right when you make the call. That's right when you knock on the door, even if you're scared to cold call, or make a call to call a friend to buy because you just got into a multi-level program and you want to sell insurance or something or whatever it is. Like it's that. And so it's like the model is, I want something, and it could be, your business, money, a relationship, health, purpose, whatever that is, okay? So that's the desire. And then the threshold moment is, I should do this because I want this. Like I really desire that. Then here's what happens. The old programs, the mental programs of scarcity and lack and what can't be done and what you can't do, they activate immediately. They activate. What if I fail? What if I'm wrong? What if she laughs at me? What if they laugh at me? What if nobody buys? What if I embarrass myself? All those stories that we tell ourselves, those programs, okay? Those activate. Then the party begins with the nervous system. That activates pressure, fear, overwhelm, like immediately. And we get that cortisol and that adrenaline flowing through our body, uncertainty, the stress chemistry. That's what we're getting. And that's where most people stop. Big red stop sign. Stop. The nervous system. Stop. Can't do it. Unsafe. I'm not safe. I'm not going to do it. That's what we're talking about. This is where the dreams die. This is where dreams go to die, in that big red, that stop. So this is where my work begins. Okay, happy beans. And this is where the awareness, and I'm just going to go down here real quickly. Happy beans, they want to go inside. So awareness, then stability, which creates capacity, which creates clarity. This is the stability spiral that I'm talking about. Then you have action, because when you're stabilized, you have action. And then that new experience by taking action, like making the call, asking for the raise, asking for the promotion, asking the guy out, whatever it is, having the conversation, that's all of a sudden you survive and you say, oh, wow, that didn't kill me. I'm alive. I'm still here. And so then now you have a little bit of confidence. You've got a little bit of evidence that you're okay. So this is when you succeed, you learn, you grow, and you discover that you're stronger than you thought, that you could do hard things. You could do more things. And so you get a little self-confidence there. And that's when rewiring gets turbocharged as well, because you're also listening to the self-talk. I'm talking about that app. Not that you're crazy, but anyway, the input equals your output. Whatever that talk is, I'm talking about anything. You sit in front of the television every single night and watch the news, you can repeat all that is all going into your head, and it's repeating the same story. Different stories, different angles, but the same story. Watch it all day long, same stories with one little thing, and maybe a human interest story, maybe like that much of it. But everything is doom and gloom and oh my God, and sensationalism. That's how they sell. That's how it sells, because it's dopamine, but it's also programming your brain for fear, for lack, for scarcity, for whatever those things are, and for survival. So anyway, that rewiring, so then you're rewiring your brain, and that becomes your new default. And I'm not talking about the TV now. Now I'm moving back to my model here of what's positive, what serves you, and that rewire with the programs that you choose. So after that experience that you saw that, wow, I had a little bit of success. I asked her and she said yes. I started a business and it didn't kill me. I got in front of the camera and I'm still here. I could do this tomorrow too. It's that kind of stuff. Like when somebody took a picture of me and I'm still here, I'm okay. That kind of stuff. Okay, so that becomes your new default. So this is the thing. It's not to get you to take action once. It's to change the default that prevented you from taking the action. That's really what I'm trying to do here. If I can get you to default, anyone, like the whole world, my whole point is I'm trying to put this together in a way. For me first, I needed to stabilize myself once Steve passed. I was so destabilized. I'm like, what is this? I knew the self-talk I've been rewiring for years, and it helped me immensely. My spirituality helped me. All of that helped me. Yet I didn't have the words to articulate what I was trying to, when I went to the store to just find something normal. There is no normal. My husband of 35 years is gone, right? He's gone. There's no normal anymore. He was here, he's not here. And my nervous system and my brain is wired for having Steve in my life. So I didn't have the words to express, which is why I've been trying to figure this out, because I recognize that if you don't stabilize your nervous system, then to rewire the brain, you're still going to rewire even if you're destabilized, but it's going to take a lot longer, and you're working against programs that are really, really deep, and so I just think there's a missing piece for rewiring. I also think there's a missing piece for stabilizing the nervous system, or working with the nervous system. I think that, and I'm just trying to put all the pieces together in a Lynnie way that makes sense to help so many, because it's helped me. I'm trying to give the words to my journey, and this is what I'm articulating, which I think this model is really going to help. The stability spiral model has been incredibly helpful. And now this model of the threshold model, when you actually are going to knock on that door, make that phone call, whatever it is, I think that this will help you as well, as much as it's helped me to actually see it and be able to understand what it is. So I hope this was helpful. I hope you enjoyed these videos, and if you do, please share them, and so that they can help other people use. Because I mean, if we don't help each other, and I just want to ask you this, like, if we don't help each other, like, we're here to help each other, but can you see a world where everyone they are focused on what they can do and what can be done, rather than scarcity and lack and what can't be done and what they can't do, and stopping them, anyone, from achieving their dreams, rather than just doing it because they're scared? And that fear is simply a program, because it's not a tiger that's ready to eat you. That's not the survival, but yet we're still feeling we're in survival. So what is it? That's what we're talking about here. We're talking about the threshold, and we're talking about your programming and how to overcome that. That's what we're doing. And I know that when you create your you literally, my whole thing is to help you create a new default of your self-talk, what you say when you talk to yourself, and what you focus on, that what you can do and what can be done. That is my goal, like, for the world. And there's a second one, Project Santa Claus. And this one will fund that. But my point is, you can do these things. You can do anything. You can do, be, change, have, create, become, absolutely anything. I came up with that because of the self-talk. I knew once you rewire your brain, we are born with unlimited promise and potential. You were born with unlimited promise and potential, and then you got programmed. And you can rewire that programming. And you can start with stabilizing your nervous system anytime that you feel destabilized, and then you continue to rewire every single day with the right programs of what can be done and what you can do. And your self-esteem, the foundation is all self-esteem, and you rewire with that every day, and you become empowered. You then are empowered, and these are my pillars. It's stabilize, rewire, empowerment. So because being empowered is your authority, like you trusting yourself, believing in yourself. Like, truly, can you look in the mirror and say, I totally 100% trust myself, and then not look for somebody to affirm that you're doing something right, or pick up the phone and say, hey, you want to go out on a date with me? Or maybe you don't pick up a phone like this, maybe you pick up a phone like this. But however, my point is, you know what the point is, because we just talked about it, asking for a raise and your stomach's in knots. Well, are you going to regret that? Asking for the promotion? Are you going to regret that you didn't start your business? Are you going to regret anything because you were too afraid to do it? Well, first of all, recognize that that's a program, and we'll end the video here, but recognize that's a program, and you can rewire that. These are all programs, and there's no need for shame or embarrassment, or it's more like, what? That's a program, and I can rewire that? All right. So when something is pointed out to me, it's like, oh my God, that's a program. I can rewire that. It's incredibly empowering, because you're just coming from a whole different mindset. And your mindset, by the way, is created by your programs. So you have new attitudes. And just real quickly, I know I was going to say, this is like my longest video yet this is day 66, by the way. We did 65. So we had 300 days left as of yesterday to do these videos, 365 days of stability moments. Today is day 66. We'll be back for day 67 tomorrow, in case I forget to tell you that. But if you stayed with me this long. So this is what I'm sharing with you, that how empowering it is. Your programs create your beliefs. Look at any belief you have and know it's based on a program. And look at how you grew up to see the program. You may not know exactly the program, but what's your religious belief? What's your your politics, like, what is what are your beliefs? Because they're all programs. You've been programmed, period. You might like the programming. There's nothing wrong with that. If you like the programming, keep it. If you don't, that stop you from doing things like I'm talking about, stop you, sabotage you, slow you down, hurt you, stop you, any of these things are counterproductive to what you want to do. Rewire the programs. So your programs create your beliefs create your attitudes create your emotions create your behaviors, and your actions, and your behaviors and actions create your results, the outcomes. It's that simple. That chain, every time. You can go all the way to your results and go, or maybe it's this way on the camera, to your programs. This is why I say there's no reason ever to be ashamed, embarrassed, or have any negative things about, even if you said something really stupid. Oh yeah, I'm embarrassed. That's a program. Because somewhere in your programming there's a value that says if you say something like that, you're going to look stupid. So that is a program that was repeated, and now it's wired in, and so now that's a program. Shy, that's a program. No one is born shy. It's like they hid behind their mom's legs, in the store or something, and the person that was coming up to say hi or something, said, was like, oh, she's so shy, and the mom says she's so shy, and then pretty soon the little girl or the little boy starts saying, I'm so shy, and now they're so shy. It's a program. It's been repeated. It's a program. And it's like, anytime you hear somebody say, I never remember names. Guess what? That's a program. And guess what? You'll never remember names because you repeated it. So I'm telling you, there's no reason to feel ever ashamed or embarrassed or any of that. And if you do, just recognize it's a program and then be like, but I can rewire that. I can rewire that program. I can change that. So that's the end. I'm done. Thank you for listening to my model if you stayed with me. You can do, be, change, have, create, become absolutely anything. I believe in you. You can do this. And I'm right here by your side for the last of the 365 days. So now it's 299 days after today. And I love you so very, very much. Isn't it gorgeous outside? Oh, look, I haven't even looked at myself. See, this is the thing. It's like, don't even look when you're doing a video, because if you do, then you start looking, oh, look at this, and look at my hair, and I slept in my braid last night, and and then you start going into the storytelling. Not worth it. But look at the mountains. Isn't that pretty? It's so gorgeous. So I'll just show you this, and then we'll say goodbye, because the sun is going down. Let me see if I can get me out of there. There, look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? So I want to thank you for being with me today and for listening to my model that I'm putting up. I am so excited about, there's the sun going down. It's very exciting. You can see the back there. That's the back, the deck. Isn't that pretty? So anyway, I love you so very, very mucho, and we will see you tomorrow for another stability moment. Please share this. Share this if you felt that it was of value and you felt like you gained some benefit. See ya. Ciao.